My experience with escape rooms is limited. I've never done one live in person, although the idea of trying to collaboratively puzzle solve my way out of a locked room with a group of strangers is as intriguing as it is socially terrifying. The whole concept is a lot like a real-world Saw scenario, minus all the torture porn. I have played a VR-based escape room with online multiplayer, which was fun, initially. Until the wonky first-person view induced nausea and a severe headache. Admittedly, not the game's fault, that's just a me problem. And I've played through the beginner tutorial of the card/mobile game Unlock. Spelt with an exclamation point because this game is not fucking around. I enjoyed it enough to purchase a couple of the physical packs with the intention of maybe someday playing more. That was 6 months ago. But luckily Kayhan Games has come to my rescue to help scratch that cerebral itch with their new NES homebrew title, NEScape. Not to be confused with the 90s internet browser Netscape, as Google likes to incorrect my search inquiries. Also, I should note that while I was sent a free review cartridge of the game, all opinions expressed in this video are mine. So let's commence with that sweet, sweet sponsored content. Those totally unfamiliar with escape rooms can think of NEScape as a new point-and-click adventure game in a similar vein as the Mac Venture series. Except you're stuck in a single four-walled room, and the game doesn't immediately kill you for attempting trial-and-error solutions. Instead, you just have to find a way to unlock the door before your 1-hour timer runs out. The task sounds simple enough, but in your path to the exit key, you'll run a cognitive gauntlet that includes a variety of puzzle-like tasks, such as reconstructing pictures, recognizing sound bites, solving word games, playing Simon, spotting differences, and exercising some plain old logical deduction. Also, don't think that you can skip ahead to the end by brute forcing your way through puzzle lock boxes. There is an organic path through the puzzle sequences that must be completed in sequential order. Trust me, I've tried cheating. It doesn't work, and it only wastes valuable time. I personally love NEScape for its variety and presentation. It took me 4 game attempts before I could beat the clock and unlock the final door. Some solutions came to me right away, and others had me anxiously watching the timer tick down as I internally fought the urge to peek at the game's printed hint guide. To us stubborn old-school gamers, the idea of peeking a hint is surmounted cheating, but rest assured it's all part of the authentic escape room experience. In a proper arcade, you're not only allowed, it's encouraged. Overall, the game's challenges felt fair, and unlike the adventure games of yesteryear, it successfully avoids relying on unintuitive moon logic to pad out the difficulty. Even when I caved and looked up a solution to the task, the answer made logical sense. That's not to say that I didn't have complaints. The synthesized voice is particularly hard to understand, especially when the word that you're meant to hear isn't part of everyone's everyday vocabulary. And there is one particular puzzle that relies on the player's personal musical knowledge. In a real-world escape room scenario, cell phones and the internet are barred. But unless you know the alphabetic scales on a keyboard and how to recognize them by tone, well, consider Google your unofficial team buddy. If I have any real disappointment from playing NEScape, though, it's that I played it alone. Google friend notwithstanding. I considered reaching my penultimate objective a personal challenge, and it was definitely that. But I fear that I may have robbed myself of that warm feeling of camaraderie that comes from beating something challenging together as a team. I can see how NEScape might be the most fun when played by a group, a meeting of minds as people frantically shout out suggestions and directions as the time runs out. Challenges that seemed beyond my ability might not have been so tough for my hypothetical partner, who I now imagine is a musical genius with a great ear for digitized garble voices. But whatever your preference, rest assured that NEScape is a dorky good time and a solid retro gaming experience. If this title looks like something you'd enjoy playing, then check out its ongoing Kickstarter campaign. I know that some of you are rightfully wary of Kickstarter projects, but you should keep in mind that this one is already funded, and it's not based on speculation. The game is done, coded, finito. Nor is this Keihan's first rodeo. By my count, this is like Kevin Hanley's 10th NES homebrew title in as many years. And, not to pressure anyone, but once one of these titles sell out, it's really hard to find a reasonably priced copy from a secondhand seller. But there you have it, NEScape. It's fun, it's different, and it's on sale now. You have until Friday, June 14th to back the project. Otherwise, cross your fingers and hope it's in stock at keihangames.com.